Hey there, and welcome to the show. Today, we are welcoming Sophie Musumeci as our feature member. Sophie has taken Real Entrepreneur Mums to great heights, and I'm really excited to be hearing about her journey and what she's learned and what she's really got to offer for mums in business today. So, let's dive in. Hey love, you're listening to the Mums in Biz Show, and I'm Victoria. Every week I'll bring you the unvarnished version of what it means to be a mum running a brilliant business, what you need to be doing to get it to where you want it to be, and a healthy dose of how to get the heck out of your own way. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Mums in Biz Show. I'm super excited to be with you today and to be having our special guest along. We are talking about why being live is still so important in business. And I am so super excited to have Sophie. Now, I've been practicing this all morning. Musumeci, is that right?
Musumeci.
There we go. It's close. From Real Entrepreneur Mums with us. Hey, Soph, how you going?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. We are talking today about community, and you know that I am a firm believer in that it takes a village to raise a child, and it 100% takes a village to raise a business too, especially as mums in business. I think that's how we thrive. That's how we grow. That's how we succeed. And most of you will know that I'm a very proud community leader for Real Entrepreneur Mums here in Melbourne. And we have an amazing group of ladies here, which is why I am so excited to have Sophie here from Real Entrepreneur Mums. Let's get started with you and learning a little bit about you and the Real Entrepreneur Mums journey. Why don't you tell us what has brought you guys to where you are today?
Well, hi, everyone. Very excited to be on today. Thank you, Nick, for having me. So I'm just in my lounge room today. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep it nice and casual. So Alison and I met a few years ago now. God, time is going really fast. I think we met back in 2015, and we were both kind of looking around to see what type of opportunities there were out there for us to connect and grow our business, and to find some real support, because what we found is that it was quite isolating. You know, my husband had no idea why I would want to leave my corporate job, safety job, and go and start my own business. Even though that we had two children that we never saw except for on the weekend, and then just hustling around trying to get things done. And so, you know, we're out there like most people, you know, going to every possible networking event you can. And, you know, I even tried to do one of those crazy 7 a.m. ones where I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning, which meant that I had to wake my kids up, drop them at my in-laws, then go to the event, and then come home. And I was just exhausted, and they just weren't my people. The late night ones, you know, where I'm ringing my husband going, are you going to be home yet? And he goes, no, I'm caught in traffic. And then I would miss it and I would waste my money. It was just really exhausting, you know.
Yes.
And I just and one thing I noticed as well is that I was tired of people always saying how great they were.
Yes.
You know, like, oh, you go, how are you? Oh, I'm so good. Business is awesome. And, you know, it was just really fake.
Yeah.
And I just wanted real, honest connections, like I was chatting with my girlfriend and we're telling each other what's going really well, supporting each other. But then, you know, we had each other back. So we said, you know what, let's just go and create it. And then we tapped 20 women on the shoulder and said, what do you reckon? Yeah. And they jumped in. And then we used that as a test and learn. And we used that first group to figure out the right model. Like you do with any business, you've got to pilot in the beginning and work.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then I think we've opened 13 different groups, and yeah.
So I would love to know a little bit more about that test and learn piece, because we get a lot of questions from mums in business who are starting out, and you know they're wanting to be able to get to a point where they've got amazing results, but that early bit's really hard. What was the successful things for you about that test and learn? I didn't know that actually. That's awesome.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's like really important. So I think one of the things we come into, we go, oh, okay, so I'm really good at this. I'll just find some clients and it will happen. And the thing is, it takes a lot of time. And I've just been building a new marketing funnel, and I would love for it to work just the first go. But the odds are it's not going to happen. So you've got to kind of figure out what are your key, your key indicators. So, for our business, we had 20 members. So we sat them down, had really honest conversations with them, said, we'll keep your membership really cheap for the first year or two. And can you give us feedback, honest feedback, and help us with finding that right model? So, we created, like your customers, identify those key core customers that, you can have those conversations with. People love contributing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So don't be scared to ask them, and they want to help. And so we used that feedback. We tried different models, we took on their ideas, we tested that out as well. And we still keep tweaking, we still keep changing because, we're going into our third year now. So we've had members that have been with us from the very beginning who are now wanting a little bit more, or they want to see ways. So just being really open to that. I think, if you think that you're going to arrive and then everything's just going to be perfectly set up and you're never going to have to change anything anymore, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, one of the things that I have learnt this year actually is exactly that. It's been so freeing to learn that it's actually just one big old experiment. And you're just constantly refining and changing things and improving. And if you just think about it as an experiment, it's way less stressful. Yeah.
I think we had our summit, and Michelle, who's community in Melbourne, and we were talking about that, and she always says she just looks at everything like a test.
Yeah.
You're just trialing. Everything is such a trial, and then you come from that mindset that asking for feedback all of a sudden doesn't feel scary because you genuinely want to know so that you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you guys obviously, you both have businesses outside of Real Entrepreneur Mums as well, and you both have, kids in school and busy lives. How do you manage it? How do you make that work?
That's the golden question I think I get asked every single time. So, look, some days I nail it, and some days I don't. And, you see those Instagram, and right now I had to try and change the light because it's giving me such a glow. But
it's really, really good light.
I know, it's just in my lounge room all the time. It's just that it's not real. That's why we called it Real Entrepreneur Mum, about being real. So for us, getting up early, really, really critical. So, this morning I was up by, I think, 5:30. I did a bit of a workout. I had some time to myself, so fueled me because I'm in a position where I'm giving so much to people. So my kids, my husband, my colleagues at work, Real Entrepreneur Mum members, I'm just giving constantly all the time. And so I need to make sure that I am taken care of first. Yeah. And that's a big lesson, and I haven't always done that, but I'm doing that now. So getting up, I'm eating really well for the first time in a long time, which is probably why my skin looks good as well. So, I'm filling myself with really good foods. I've cut out crap. With that as well. Yeah. And just time management. Today, I've got a massive list of stuff that I could do, but I've just got today. And so I said, what is that one thing I have to achieve today? And that's all I've focused on. I haven't gone scrolling through my emails. I'm just blinkers on, get that done. Because that will create so much space later, or it will knock down a whole heap of other things. Alison can call it the domino effect. What's that one big thing you have to do that then actually knocks over a few other things?
Yes.
Do that thing first. So we're big, eat the green frog, Brian Tracy, that kind of and give yourself a break. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't get to what you thought you were going to do. But if you have a to-do list that has 20 items on it, you're not going to do that. And one thing, do that one thing. Then when you do that.
Nice. I absolutely love that. And I love that you're talking about filling your cup first, because we are just constantly giving, whether it's in business or our kids, and if you don't find ways to fill up your own cup first, you just dry up. There's no goodness left there. It's not sustainable. Yeah.
I've had mentors say that to me before. Like Mark said it to me not long ago. He's like, "So, like, doing for you?"
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just, you know me, Mark. I just get in there. I just get it done. And he just looked at me. I'm like, okay. So, look after you first. Because if you burn out, everything else stops, right? Like it does. You know, the kids, the family, the home, the business. Look after you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So, I'm going to mix my questions up a little bit here because you talked about real entrepreneur mums and you talked about it being really real and, you know, the types of ladies that you attract. And I know that in Melbourne, and for those that aren't aware, you know, Melbourne is a new group this year, and we just have the most incredible group of ladies. And I would love to know what has been the difference maker for you guys. Like, how do you attract just women who gel? They, you know, same values, really strong drive, but so caring and really have each other's back.
It all starts with culture, and it starts with Alice. So we were very, very clear around what our mission was, really clear on what we were, and we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not something that we talk about in the open day. Be all of our see it in our website, our language. When we do Facebook Live, we're always talking how important it is to surround yourself right. We genuinely have your back, want to see you smash your goals, and you know they will do anything. So when we keep talking about this, it's like attraction marketing, which I'm learning a lot more about. If you are very vocal about who you are and your values, mission, and what you're trying to do, you will naturally attract like-minded people. And then be okay with cutting out like that, which we've had to do a couple of times. Yeah. And it was really difficult. Like, can't be like that. We can't just, but we had to say, you know what, this is the right thing for you. And that was really hard, right? We copped a bit of flack over it, but everyone now realizes why we did that, because the culture of Real Entrepreneur Mum is we have to. So I think that's why. And then also getting the right link. So in order for us to be able to create an amazing in Adelaide and Melbourne, where you can't just drop into your meeting, try and keep boosting up the energy or talk, we had to make sure we had the right leaders who were on the same vision we were and wanted to be part of it. Yeah. So it's the same in anyone's. Like you are going to attract customer that you are. Yes. So, a lot of people when we do the avatar or whatever, when they get down to it, they go, oh, it's me. Right. Yes. So then you start to switch how you're fine.
And I love how what you just said there. It's about it's like it would be in any business when you're growing. Treat your business like a business. And so for you guys, when you were looking to expand out of a region where you're able to have some measure of control, you had to think like a business that was bigger and make sure you had the right leadership in place and things like that. And I think that's something that we forget to do, is treat our business like a business, and really take it seriously and give it the love that it and strategy that it needs to grow. That's awesome. So tell us about what's important about Real Entrepreneur Mums. Why does it make a difference, and such a difference for its members?
Biggest thing that we can realize, there are so incredible women who have dreams building or have their dream, walking away from the corporate job and actually being able to go to assembly. Yeah. And so they start a business, they have this idea that they want to start a business, and then they start hobbying, right? They around. Most of them, they are absolutely 100%. Yeah. They are sitting on their laptops at night at 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. trying to figure out how to. They are confused. They're having arguments with partners. Like, it all just kind of comes to that point where they just had right who supported, who could help them with shortcuts, connect them with someone, do their website that wouldn't cost someone all of it would make. So we're just not okay anymore alone, and they don't feel like it's back. We're just not okay, and we're getting very loud about that, right?
Love it.
Yeah, it's not okay. They're alone.
Yeah.
Can't be alone.
No.
And the thing is that you could do extraordinary things, right? Like look at like your coaching you do, right? Like you know that if you could just help these women to get to that next level, that's incredible. And it's getting setting yourself up with the right foundation, the right support.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too that I think it's why we fall into this, oh, my business is my baby, because it's actually not that different to when we are new mums with a newborn at home. We've got no idea what we're doing and we get so isolated and just in this place of it not being an amazing experience. Often, certainly that happened to me. And the only way I got out was finding my tribe. And it's been exactly the same in business as well. It wasn't until I figured out where my tribe was and who my people were and how to get the support that I needed when I was sitting at home on my laptop at 12 o'clock at night trying to work out what the hell online marketing was, a couple of years ago. Like, I'm a bit flabbergasted at the learning curve, actually, that you go through those first, 3 to 5 years in business. It's phenomenal. But, it really, really is so important. And so how do they grow together? Let's talk about that, because I've experienced it, but I would love to hear from you, because there have been some massive transformation journeys for your members over the time that Real Entrepreneur Mums has been going.
So one of the big things that I say, Alison always laughs at me, but like no one has their shit, right? No one has all their shit. Yeah. And I definitely don't have all my shit together. Like if you saw my house right now, I'd be like, I threw a scarf on so I can hide the shit. And so I think we talk about that and that, we're learning and we're growing our business at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think we've always kind of just said that straight up front. So people weren't kind of, like we haven't tried to create this perfection like and that we're all learning and growing. And so then within the structure of our meetings as well, we also have opportunities to, present and get feedback, buddy them up. Every month they get allocated. And we say in those sessions, right, so sit down together and figure out what your big goal is. And then ask the other person, how can I help you accountable? So, they're sharing ideas and they're keeping that accountable. I have an awesome partner, but most of you don't.
Yeah.
Right? And if it was just me, I would need to find a whole heap to fill the role of. So, we talk about, the rising tide raises the boat. So it's so inspiring to see our other members going for it and achieving their goals. And in some other group, not like networking groups like we've got, but I've seen in some other Facebook groups, like, the whole tall poppy syndrome.
Yes.
Everyone just loves to have a crack or, give some really sarcastic, negative feedback. Like that is not okay. Not okay at all. So it's a safe environment where they feel like they can just be themselves. They can contribute, help others. It's rewarding, right? Like, Nick, when you help someone, and it might not even be with business, it might be something else.
Totally.
How it feels like you feel part of, that's pretty awesome to be able to contribute in that way. So they're kind of contributing to each other. And I mean, outside of our actual business core skills, I mean, so many of us have had jobs outside of our business.
Yeah.
Raised a family. So when you help each other you don't have to buy from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and what I love too is that so we talk about know, like, and trust in online marketing and, being able to build relationships and referring people. What I love about the Real Entrepreneur Mums model too is the fact that you can learn about each other's businesses without feeling like you're being sold to, but just genuinely in the trenches together, and you don't hesitate to recommend somebody when you've experienced a little part of them and their business. And it's one of, I think, the differentiating factors of this as a referral network. And so that's one thing I want to talk about too, because face-to-face is a really, really massive part of real entrepreneur mums. So let's talk about that, and because we're seeing different trends, right, in business today, and where online marketing's going and all sorts of things, and face-to-face is still really important. Tell us why. Tell us what's so critical about that.
So people want to be part of friends, like they're more like business. There used to be this line like work-life balance, but now we're talking about life. Your business or career or your job, whatever, it's part of your life. You need to just figure out a way now to balance.
Yeah.
So face-to-face, you want to be able to see each other and engage. Even just like now, you can do face-to-face virtually. You don't physically
100%.
be in the room. Like we've just launched in the last few months our first couple of online groups. So they're meetings to run via Zoom. And we're now covered from the East Coast to the West Coast, which I'm very excited to say.
That's exciting.
Really exciting. And the relationships on that grow just fast because of the structure. So need to connect. It's good to be in Facebook, but if you're looking to build real relationships where they'll actually have your back, they'll help you. I mean, yes, you can post and ask a question group and you might get a couple of on, but I mean, this is really out of your way help, it's not, here you go here. It's like, I know someone, I can. So face-to-face is where relationships are at, and for real entrepreneur mums, it's all about relationship marketing. So it's building a relationship with someone, online or face-to-face.
Yes.
To then build trust to where they will recognize. Can't do that.
No, I completely agree. And I do think, and I talked about it on last week's episode as well, about the businesses that are a bit more diversified and that, look at building relationships on multiple different levels are the ones that will be sustainable ultimately in the long run, because it's a bit like the eggs in one basket theory, The one thing that is constant is change. And if you rely just on one platform or just on one way of finding people, things will change in business. The way that we do business today is so incredibly different to the way we did it 5 or 10 years ago. And I'm assuming it's going to be just as different in 5 years' time. And what I think will never go away is that need for human connection and interaction and just being a real person. And I think too that the authenticity that you get, through that connection is so important, because you do know that it's somebody who actually knows what they're talking about or can back up their experiences or their statements. It just makes such a difference.
Because you're connecting, like in real chat, at least twice a month, face to face.
Yeah.
So you're connecting with the same meeting as well. So that just builds and amplifies the relationship as opposed to going to Facebook. So you're getting it's incredible because the speed of which relationships formed in real entrepreneur mums, anything else that I've ever is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Like it's just, and it's right from the top all the way through the community. I love now our members, like they say my values back to me, right? They're like, smashed a goal today, or oh my God, I love how people got my back, or they're actually saying values, and that's when you know that you're really holding values. Your company starts talking.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoy listening to the Mums in Biz show, I would love for you to leave us a review on iTunes, and be sure to post a snap of you enjoying the show on Instagram and tag me at nicole.tuerick. You can also join in the conversation with me in the Mums in Biz tribe on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Mums in Biz Show.